Enrico Corte. Enrico Corte, born June 21, 1963, is an Italian contemporary artist. He works in the fields of painting, sculpture, drawing, video art, and photography. His exhibitions often include multimedia installations that mix diverse genres and form relationships both with the surrounding area and the viewing public by means of ever-changing combinations. He has lived for extended periods of time in Rome, London, Berlin, Paris, and New York, always immersing himself in the contemporary culture and assimilating the tensions of the metropolitan countercultures. His works can be found in both private and public collections in Europe and the USA. Some recurring themes constitute the artist's poetic core. One element is the so-called impossibility of the tragic within the system of contemporary art. Another theme is the coexistence of creation and destruction in the process of realizing a work, along with the analysis of the dark side of creativity, which often coincides with the self-destruction of the artist's personality. A frequent theme found in many of Corte's works is the relationship between official artistic culture and the underground ferment that develops in urban alternative countercultures or subcultures. The manifold theme of sex in general, and in particular the relationship between pleasure and pain, are explored by Corte without restraint or prejudice. He himself ties the wide variety of artistic techniques and genres of his work to a genderqueer standpoint experienced personally by the artist. Life and career. Enrico Corte was born in Cagliari, on the island of Sardinia, Italy. He completed his courses of studies at the Artistic High School in Cagliari, where he met a classmate, Andrea Nersis, an artist with whom he began an artistic dialogue and partnership that have lasted to the present day. Corte began exhibiting in 1980. In 1982 he held his first solo exhibition at the Gallery Comunale Modern in Cagliari, where he juxtaposed his works directly with those of the artists in the gallery's permanent collection, such as Giulio Pollini, Brigitte Riley, Enrico Castellani, and Piero Gilardi. In addition to visual art, he was influenced by international literature, cinema, theatre, and, above all, to the history of music. In 1983, his interest in cinema and theatre led to an encounter with the film director Mario Martone, who put him in touch with the Adria di Art Gallery in Naples, an experimental space run by artists where Corte and Nersis organized a double solo exhibition in 1986. They received the attention of the art critics Enrico Corte and Filippo Mena, who invited them to exhibit at the 1986 Rome Quadriennale. The Quadriennale aimed to take stock of the Italian visual art in the mid-1980s and included such artists as Francesco Clement, Michelangelo Pistolto, Giuseppe Pennon, Mimmo Palladino, Mario Merz. Through to his presence in the Quadriennale, Corte was introduced to some of the representatives of the cultural and artistic world in Rome, including Alessandro Bodi, Giannis Canellis, Enzo Cucche, Gino De Dominicis, and, in particular, the multimedia artist Luigi Antoni. Antoni and Corte belonged to different generations but shared a common sensitivity and culture. They developed a friendship that inspired Antoni to write a presentation in the form of a poem of Corte's first solo exhibition in Rome at the Planeta Gallery in 1989. Enrico Corte will deepen his analysis of Corte's work in the 1994 book El Novecento 3, La All-Time Research. In 1988, Corte obtained his degree laureate in Italian from the University in the History of Contemporary Art with a thesis on the Austrian body artist Günter Bruce, whom he met and interviewed in Graz in 1987. He then moved to Rome, where he established a studio with Andrea Nersis. To finance his early projects, Corte worked as a 3D commercial artist, scenographer, and actor, collaborating with, among others, the experimental film director Franco Bricconi. His work with Bricconi would later find a place in his art. In Rome, Corte met several artists of international fame, including Alberto Burri, Marina Abramovic, Maurizio Catalan, Joseph Kossuth, Andrea Serrano. Corte also met photographer Joel Peter Witkin, with whom he briefly worked as an assistant in 1997 looking for transgender models along the streets of Rome. During the 1990s, Corte became part of the new scene of Italian art, being chosen by the critic Achille Benito Oliva for a series of exhibitions in Rome and Milan, by the critics Luca Beatrice and Cristiano Perello for the Equinoccio d'Autunno exhibition at Castello di Rovere near Turin, and by the critic Gianluca Marzini for the exhibition Trends, organized in 2001 by the Galleria d'Arte Moderna at Bologna. He also began to make trips to New York City. In 1999, Swiss critic Harold Schiemann, director of the 48th Venice Biennial, invited Corte and Nersis to organize as an artist-slash-curator a program within the Ors project in the room of the Italian Pavilion. The name they gave to their specific project was Ors Design, networking as a privileged method. The main topics dealt with the themes of international counterculture, creative hacking, and political and cultural dissent. In addition to room of the Italian Pavilion, Ors Design expanded to other public spaces, including the Aula Magna of the Università IUAV di Venezia and the Chiostro Tolentini, Venice. With the sponsorship of J. Walter Thompson, the two artists organized a series of film and video screenings and panel discussions between a number of international intellectuals, journalists, musicians, radio/television/theatre directors, and the public of contemporary art. It put into practice Corte's desire to escape the self-indulgent individualism of the artist, a stance Corte relates to the Gramscian school of thought. To secure the participation of 3 radio and television directors from the clandestine and main counter-information news station B92 in Belgrade, a city that at the time was at war, Corte had to seek diplomatic assistance from the Italian ambassador to Belgrade and financial support from George Soros' Open Society foundations. The result was an exhibition that included a countercultural critique of Slobodan Milosevic, his regime, and the civil war underway in the former Yugoslavia just 200 kilometers from the Biennale. The press conference that followed, along with a number of interviews with guests of Orsta Sima, were transcribed and published in the book Orsta, the Venice Biennale. In 2003, Corte began a working relationship with the Buer Gallery in New York, taking part in a young Italian genome group show. Corte left Rome in 2008 and moved to Bologna for a brief period, after which he chose to concentrate his work in a studio/house in the countryside near Ravenna. In 2017, the critic Gianluca Mazzini organized a double retrospective exhibition of Corte and nurses in the Palazzo Collacola Arti Versa Museum in Spoleto, Umbria. The exhibition, entitled Excerpt Letter 240, celebrated 40 years of the artist's work, occupying 3 floors of the museum. Excerpt Letter 240 caught the attention of the director of the Galleria Nazionale d'Arte Moderna in Rome, Cristiano Colù, who in February 2018 organized a lecture with the 2 artists in the Galleria Nazionale where the entire exhibition was illustrated and discussed with the audience. On the occasion of the Excerpt Letter 240 exhibition and the artist's lecture in the Galleria Nazionale, the aspect of Corte's work in the field of musical composition emerged, an activity on which he has been concentrating in recent years. The Botanical Rarities Series 1981 present. The Botanical Rarities Series 1981 present. Throughout his career, Corte has collaborated with other artists in order to break out of what he refers as the self-indulgent individualism of the artist. The multimedia installation Botanical Rarities, created with the artist Andrea Nurses in 1981, is an example of the type of ongoing collaborative work that has evolved alongside his solo works. Since the first installation of vegetomorphic sculptures, drawings, and musical soundtrack in the Orto Botanico dell'Università di Cagliari, from time to time the artists re-elaborate the original themes in order to present the same ideas in different forms using various techniques. So far, vinyl LPS, audio CDs, videos, jewelry, and various gadgets inspired by the 1981 exhibition have been produced. This celebratory pretext was intended ironically, not adulatory, but when viewed in its totality does celebrate the lasting friendship the 2 artists continue to enjoy. Photographic works of the 1980s and 1990s. The young Corte's approach to photography is characterized by a slow-cost production and open-minded approach to the real, which one reviewer called that of a tourist of existence. His photography has also been defined as sort of negative narcissism experienced through redefining the conventional concepts of identity and dignity. Typical of the latter are works that could be wrongly intended to search for scandal. For example, in some of them he is photographed standing precariously on the ledge of public buildings. Euthanasia, 1981, Cheese, 1981. Another self-portrait represents the artist's face spattered with seminal liquid drawing, 1982, and in another one someone urinates on his face at Dolatrine, 1981. Throughout the 1990s, Corte would occasionally include photography into sculptures or other plastic works to recontextualize them in a wider multimedia context. Double Faces in Crossfades Works, 1986-1989. Double Faces in Crossfades Works, 1986-1989. In the second half of the 1980s, Corte produced 2 series of works, the Double Face series, consisting in 35 pieces, followed by the Crossfades series, consisting of 40 pieces. In the former, the artist altered the traditional way a picture is displayed, hanging panels attached to steel cables in the center of the exhibiting area. The panels were painted on both sides, often with images and subjects that are quite different from the point of view of color or figurative representation. The viewer is invited to walk around the picture as it hangs in a void to discover the conceptual tie between the 2 sides of the work. Often the images depicted emerge from the surface, standing out like alto relievo or jutting sculptures. The Crossfades series began in 1987 and represent an extension of the works in Double Face. The pictures in this series look as if they are hanging on the wall in a traditional fashion, but they are divided into 2 panels joined by hinges so that they can be opened and closed like a book, or rather, like a Japanese book, from right to left. One of the 2 panels is fixed to the wall while the other is movable and can be opened or closed by the viewer on the hinges. When the works in the Crossfades series are closed, that is to say, when one panel is folded over the other, all that the viewer can see is a black square hanging on the wall, it is necessary to use one's hands to open the panels in order to be able to see the images painted within. The Abstraction of the Void series and the Devotees and Wannabe series, 1993-1998. The Abstraction of the Void series and the Devotees and Wannabe series, 1993-1998. The Abstraction of the Void is a series of small sculptures made of metal, resin, and other materials. It is inspired by erotic accessories, reinterpreted through a wide range of aesthetic solutions. For example, the artist modifies the form of a butt plug with precious, unexpected details that have nothing to do with the erotic object's original purpose, yet still maintain its possible anal use. The concept of emptiness, which Corte takes from classical art, takes on an ironic connotation in the series of works, projecting the aesthetic dimension of sculpture into new areas including the concepts of pleasure and pain, formal refinements, and scatological eroticism. The Devotees and Wannabes series involves a group of small and medium small metal sculptures designed by the artist as artificial body parts, fingers, limbs, and so on missing as a result of voluntary amputation. Corte references the practice by groups of people who in the early 1980s were labeled in the jargon of analytic psychology, as well as U.S. urban subculture, as devotees, people attracted by amputations, or wannabes, people who practice self-amputation. These fetishists performed voluntary self-mutilation for erotic or merely decorative reasons as they searched for a new aesthetic of the body. Corte sculptures are not simply prostheses imitating the original form of the missing body part, rather they take on free aesthetic connotations with the addition of elements which widen the possibilities for the use of the artificial part itself. For both the Abstraction of the Void and the Devotees and Wannabes series, Corte made a set of promo pictures of the sculptures, placing the objects in singular poses and settings and photographing them as if they were advertisements for a product. These promo pictures were considered an art form in and of themselves and not simply a commercial promotion strategy. The Art Brothel Series 1995. The Art Brothel Series 1995. The series Art Brothel consists of 25 photographs of various sizes with plastic laminate backings. The artist's intention was to create an ironic, desecrating celebration of the system of contemporary art with an overtone of parody and using references to cinema. Corte created the Art Brothel series in 1995, the year of the Venice Biennial Centenary, so it is not surprising that this celebration is his first ironic reference. On the backstage of an actual film set where Corte worked as a scenographer and actor, a group of professional male, female, and transgender high-class prostitutes plays in sequences that allude to well-known paintings, techniques, or artistic trends chronicling the history of art. The artist himself also appears in these sequences. To create the photographic series, Corte projected the sequences on a cinema screen and then re-photographed them. The resulting photos were later printed and cropped by the artist, sometimes leaving at their edges a small portion of the screen on which the sequences were projected. Also, French subtitles apparently disconnected from the various scenes have been superimposed in the photographs. The titles of the single photos are indicative of the artist's intent, but the series contains more subtle references to cinematographic art. For example, the film set is located in a showroom on Via Veneto, the famous street in Rome that was featured in the 1960 film by Federico Fellini, La Dolce Vita, and the showroom itself belongs to an Italian architect and interior designer of villas owned by Sylvester Stallone. No Light 1995 Prison. No Light 1995 Prison. No Light is the title of a video artwork which Corte began working on with Nurses in 1995. Corte and Nurses play the two main characters in the video, which has a narrative structure and includes digital animation, pictorial scenography, costumes, text, and music, all created by the two artists. The video, completed in 1997, is 30 minutes longitude. In the intervening decades, the two artists have periodically re-elaborated themes and images from No Light to celebrate their ongoing artistic collaboration. Similar to their previous collaboration, the Botanical Rarities installation of 1981, new works offer new interpretations and perspectives on a project that has evolved from a medium-length video to include video still prints, sculptures, drawings, vinyl records, audio CDs, limited edition of artistic gadgets, and multimedia installations. The meaning behind the No Light project, with all its subsequent re-elaborations, can be synthesized as a satirical representation of how the tragic is impossible within the system of contemporary art. It's a parody of the pain and torment of creating, or as a schizophrenic split of the artist's personality into two different characters who hold conflictual dialogue about the possibility of abandoning the artistic career. No Light was presented to an international audience in 1999 at the Italian Pavilion of the 48th Venice Biennial, directed by Harold Seaman. Masken, Anthracon and Intericon Series 1996 present. Masken, Anthracon and Intericon Series 1996 present. Masken, Anthracon and Intericon are three series of works on paper and cardboard thematically linked by common elements, including the theme of humans dressing up for erotic reasons. Masken was the name given in Japan in the early 90s to the phenomenon of rubber dolls, or the erotic practice of playing the role of dolls while wearing latex clothes and masks. The practice had elements of sadomasochism, but filtered by references to the world of manga, not to be confused with the cosplay phenomenon. Anthracon, a blend of the words anthropomorph and a convention, is a series of conventions that have taken place from the 90s onwards, primarily in the United States and, to a lesser extent, other parts of the world. These conventions bring together enthusiasts who dress up as anthropomorphic furry animals, using flashy costumes, handmade or bought from specialized fabricators. The latent eroticism in this inclination is often highlighted in Corte's works. Intericon is a phenomenon which, while inspired by Maskin and Antracon, is the creation of Corte. The works of the Intericon series portmanteau of the words interiors and a convention show groups of people with a shared passion for dressing up as objects in interior furnishings, satisfying their erotic penchants and complete immobility in summer darkness within apartments designated for the purpose. Lucifer in Music 1995 present. Lucifer in Music 1995 present. Lucifer in Music is the title Corte gives to his musical production from 1995 to date to say goodnight to the odd world, as is written on his personal Bandcamp page. The term Luciferin refers here to heterocyclic compounds present in some living organisms which produce bioluminescence, like fireflies. Corte plays on the reference to Lucifer, the name given to Satan in the Judeo-Christian tradition. In the No Life video, for which Corte composed the music, he plays a little demon. For his musical projects, Corte presents himself as various entities or alter egos, musical groups, or soloists, preferring to appear with his own name only as a producer. While Corte is responsible for the entirety of his musical compositions, during the creative phase he often relies on sound engineers and other musicians. Like much of his work, the artist's approach to music is collaborative. La Partus and Unautor are some of the aliases Corte adopts in his musical projects. Publications. In 2008, the monograph Enrico Corte's Spectrospective was published by Damiani with a critical essay by art critic Gianluca Marzini. The volume, distributed internationally, can be found in the libraries of institutions such as Tate Gallery, Stanford University, Columbia University, and the Pratt Institute in New York.